SRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Heartland Conference Championship Soccer. The Mount St. Joseph Lions play host to the Rose-Hulman Fightin' Engineers. Both sides looking for their fourth Heartland Conference Tournament Championship and a bid to the Division III National Tournament. We thank you for being a part of our HCAC.TV broadcast today. I'm Sam Cinder alongside Nick Abel, and these two, Nick, have been the cream of the crop in the Heartland Conference. Rose-Hulman, the number 2 seed, 7-1-1. Mount St. Joseph, 8-0-1, and the number 1 seed. What has their path to this point been like, starting with Rose-Hulman?
Yeah, Rose-Hulman, an interesting path because they have been so good in conference play, but they played a very tough non-conference schedule, started off the year with 5 losses, including to one of the best teams in all of D3, the Wash U team. And then looking at Mount St. Joseph, they've been dominant all year. They have been the best team in the conference, and it's awesome that we get to see 1 and 2 going at it for a chance to play in the NCAA tournament.
Let's look at their semifinal matches. Rose-Hulman, really interesting. It was the first game all season that they won with less shots than their opponent, less than 10 shots overall, and less corners. They had 0 corner kicks in that match. Transylvania possessed the ball for nearly the majority. Rose-Hulman scored quickly in the second half and then basically played defense. And Mount St. Joseph on the other side had one of their tougher ones, just 1-0 against Hanover.
Both incredibly tight matches, as you mentioned. And for Rose-Hulman, you don't always have to win all 90 minutes. You just got to be the better team in the final third and take advantage of opportunities. They've done that all year. And Mount St. Joseph, another tight game for them, able to squeak it out and get wins as they've done all year long. But now we've got the cream of the crop, as you mentioned here tonight. Should be really fun.
For Rose-Hulman, it was a weird situation off the crossbar and put in by Lauren Marquardt. Alex Adams, the one that lifted it up there. And then for Mount St. Joseph, it was Mary Anhofer that put them up. So just 1 goal for each side. Who are you looking at in this match to play key for both of these teams?
Well, looking at Mount St. Joseph, you got to talk about Ella Pittman. 9 goals on the year. All of them have come in Heartland Conference play. She is going to need to score. They've been really good on both sides of the ball all year. Their defense has been very stout, especially in second halves. That back line is really unbreakable. And then for Rose-Hulman, it's been a number of different players who have gotten the job done, but definitely Kira Hicks. 7 goals in conference, 2 assists to pair with her output on the offensive side. Those are the two names, the two big scorers for these teams, and it's going to be the big players who decide who goes and advances to next weekend.
So you gave me the big players. Now give me someone to look out under the radar that, in playoff soccer, playoff anything, it's oftentimes the unseen hero, someone that just makes a play. Everyone's looking at the main contributor, Kira Hicks, whether that's Ella Pittman. Someone else steps up and has a huge goal. Who is that going to be?
I actually like the defender, Paige Adams. You don't see a lot of goals from the defensive side, but she has been very, very good for Rose-Hulman. 2 goals and a couple of assists. I expect her to move up. They like to take advantage of missed opportunities. They're going to have to do that tonight against a very good Mount St. Joseph squad. If she can push forward and attack and create opportunities for the midfielders and the forwards, she can make an impact and potentially help them overcome, as I mentioned, and I'm going to keep mentioning it, a very good Mount St. Joseph squad.
So you said Paige Adams, 2 goals, 25 shots. She's one of the main shot takers on the Rose-Hulman side. I'll look at the same number 14, Alex Adams. She's without a goal this season, but she was, in essence, the hero against Transylvania. Just lifted a shot from about 30 feet out off the top of the crossbar. It allowed Lauren Marquardt to put it back in without a goal, but 4 assists, one of those in the semifinal, and 30 shots. The 30 shots, second most on Rose-Hulman, so someone that's role is evolving and getting bigger and bigger every single match for the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers.
It doesn't take goals to be a contributor, especially in these playoff games when you're not going to see a lot of goals because these teams are so tight.
We've seen both sides take the field. The national anthem will ensue, so we'll take a break as we honor America here at Mount St. Joseph.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Are you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Welcome back here on HCAC.TV. Championship soccer match between Rose-Hulman and Mount St. Joseph. I'm Sam Cinder alongside Nick Abel, and we will toss to our public address announcer, Russ Breedy, for the player introductions.
Lily Dorr. A defender from Savage, Minnesota, number 3, Lauren Marquardt. A defender from Plainfield, Indiana, number 5, Camille Clark. A defender from Lexington, Kentucky, number 6, Riley Heasley. A midfielder from Scottsdale, Arizona, number 7, Taylor Beatty. A midfielder from Portage, Michigan, number 10, Kiana Martin. A midfielder from Louisville, Kentucky, number 13, Allie Smith. A forward from Lake Zurich, Illinois, number 16, Katie Choi. A midfielder from Brownsburg, Indiana, number 28, Jaden Gibson. A defender from Gilroy, California, number 31, Vianney Garcia. And a forward from Linwood, Washington, number 32, Kyra Pitts. Assistant coach Casey Baker and the head coach Amy Hallowell. And now for the Mount St. Joe Lions. In goal from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 1, Jordan Schneider. A defender from Russellville, Ohio, number 3, Mackenzie Dotson. At forward from Harrison, Ohio, number 10, Ella Pittman. A midfielder from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 14, Paige Adams. At forward from Greenfield, Ohio, number 15, Kerrigan Pollard. A midfielder from Dayton, Ohio, number 16, Haley Trisha. A defender from Brunswick, Ohio, number 24, Elena Shariffa. At midfielder from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 25, Mackenzie Schneeman. A defender from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 29, Vivian Willis. And a midfielder from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 31, Richard Ginn. Assistant coaches, Mark Saban, Zoe Stanford, Matty Young, and the head coach, Darren Gallagher.
HCAC Championship Soccer, Rose-Hulman is visiting Mount St. Joseph. Introductions are over and we're nearly set to get underway. Nick, I'll ask you, we talked a lot in the open about the Mount St. Joseph defense, just 13 goals allowed. Rose-Hulman, though, their identity is defense. So how stylistically should the two sides go at it, starting with Rose-Hulman?
You got to play your brand of soccer, and for Rose-Hulman, that doesn't mean possessing the ball all that much. It's forcing Mount St. Joseph to make mistakes and to press high, hopefully get the ball in the final third and take advantage when Mount St. Joseph makes mistakes. They probably won't make a ton of them, so you got to be effective in the final third. Then from the other side, the Lions, just possess. Make sure that you get a lot of time in the final third. You're going to have to be creative because, as you mentioned, Rose-Hulman likes to sit back in their shell in that box. So you're going to have to find different ways to score, send overlapping runs, do a couple different things to put them on their heels.
To quantify the Lions' defense of late, they have not allowed a goal in their last 3 matches. They've allowed just 2 in their last 10. That's all of conference play. So, and in the earlier matchup against Rose-Hulman a month ago in October, they did not allow a goal. They won 1-0, and the only goal on a set piece. Both sides, we know how important it is to score first. They have not lost. For Rose-Hulman, 8-0-1 when they strike first. Mount St. Joseph 10-0-1 when they get the first goal.
Yeah, in that match, it's just a couple of weeks ago. It was only 1 goal that separated these teams, and it felt that close for most of the match. Even though Mount St. Joseph did dominate possession, you're going to probably see a lot of that same style being played today pretty late in the season, right before playoffs kicked off. You're going to see a lot of that similar play. Expect a similar type of game Rose-Hulman just has to be a little bit more effective in getting more opportunities in the final third.
So I know we just talked about stylistic, but knowing you're Rose-Hulman, you lost that game 1-0. You're not going to want to lose again in the same manner. Does that change anything for you going into this one?
It changes some, but you've been a good team all season, so you don't need to throw away everything that you write on the chalkboard. Just play your game, and you got to be a little bit better, but only one goal. One goal is inches in this sport, and you're that close to potentially going and taking this win.
Well, we're off, and the winner, the Heartland Conference tournament winner, and we'll get a spot in the National Division III playoff bracket. Mount St. Joseph possesses early, as they will for the majority of this match, and it's out for a throw on the near sideline.
Yeah, expected possession. That's a good step right at midfield, though. Don't let those attackers and midfielders get in deep early.
Now Rose-Hulman will take over and boot it deep down the far sideline and out of play. For Rose-Hulman, they're not going to possess often, but in order to score, you have to win to score. So how much does that become the pressure we're seeing here in the Mount St. Joseph defensive third? Is that what they're going to rely on to score, is my question to you.
You can expect them to have to press high, and you can see right here already, you get in the midfielders and even the backs up forward into Mount St. Joseph territory to try and force turnovers. They've done a good job in these early minutes not letting the Lions get comfortable and then drawing a foul right there.
And there's Riley Heasley drawing it. You got to see aggressive play, physical play in playoff soccer in a championship game like this. And I'll point to Mount St. Joseph. They have not lost a game where they've committed more fouls, which seems like an anomaly. You wouldn't want to be the team committing fouls, but it's a physical presence that they take positive stuff from.
And fouling isn't always the worst thing. A situational foul, especially in transition when you're outnumbered and you're trying to let your defense get back, is hugely important.
A squabble for the ball here, and it's Kiana Martin with a shot. Nearly got through, but it's Jordan Schneider, the star goalkeeper for the Lions, that makes the diving save.
Yeah, she's only given up 10 goals all year. She does have a great back line to help her out, but you have to have a lot of confidence. 4 of the last 5 matches have been shutouts. Just you're feeling good in between the posts. It gives you and the rest of your squad a lot of energy and as I said, confidence with how you're going to be able to win this game.
And Taylor Beatty picks it off, and now another foul by Mount St. Joseph. So Rose-Hulman, they'll have a set piece here fairly close, just outside the box.
So I mentioned fouls can be a good thing, but also they can be really detrimental. That is not where you want to foul in the final third. A great opportunity off a set piece. We said you got to take advantage of opportunities, and early on in this match, this is a really, really nice opportunity for Rose-Hulman.
Allie Smith will be the one to take it. 2-woman wall for the Lions. Strikes it with the left, and it's wide left. Went for goal and missed.
It's an aggressive take from that far out, about 5 yards past the 18 box. I think you probably want to have a better run into that back post. Might have been what she was trying to do, just not nearly close enough to any of her attackers to have a chance to get anything on net.
Well, it's interesting. Outside of that first possession, it's been a bit of a sloppy start for the Lions, and Rose-Hulman has been the team possessing.
Yeah, a little bit surprising to start this match. Expect these teams to come out. This game means a lot. So you might come out a little bit nervous, not quite settled into how you want to play. Wait till that 15-minute mark till these teams really settle in.
Jaden Gibson, another almost devastating error for the Lions. And she took a shot there, but right at Schneider, gobbles it up.
If you're Rose-Hulman, you're loving what you're seeing right now. It has been mistakes from the back line that has been pretty much mistake-free all year. and not a great communication from the goalkeeper either. So you just got to keep grinding away, get attackers in positions to have deep turnovers like you caused on that last play.
Mackenzie Schneeman making a run for the Lions. Pressure, and plays it back for now. And another miscommunication. Rose-Hulman, it's in their defensive third, and they'll let it roll out for a goal kick.
Mount St. Joseph hasn't had a lot of possession, especially past midfield. And when you're struggling in the opening stages of this game to hold on to the ball, you got to do better communicating with your forwards. Tried to send a long ball through there. He was not even close to a runner.
Nick, we are just 5 minutes in, so yes. I don't want to jump to any early conclusions. But for Mount St. Joseph, the last time they won the Heartland Conference was 2018. Although they're led by a very senior group, a lot of veteran players. Do you see any nervousness in the first five?
Yeah, it looks uncharacteristic right now. You're at home. You've been really good at home all year. There's a good way to draw a foul right there. Might be able to get your feet under you. But just the nerves of the magnitude of this match seem to be getting to them right now. I expect them to settle in and get more comfortable in possession as we go on, and a good set-piece opportunity to maybe get it deep into Rose-Hulman territory.
It's their star, Mackenzie Schneeman, to take it. She was responsible, assisted on the lone goal to beat Rose-Hulman in late October. And here she plays it deep into the box, and it's Lily Dore to go up and get it.
Yeah, on long set pieces like that, it can be difficult for Dore and any keeper to make a decision on whether to come out, and she, no-nonsense goalkeeping right there. Great job to go out and make her presence felt.
She's very aggressive. She plays a handball. That's on Vianney Garcia. So another set piece coming.
Just didn't quite read the bounce. She thought it was going to, tried to chest it down, instead just caught the upper part of her arm. Another long set piece.
Now this one's longer than the one we saw in the first match in October, but what they did so well was work it to Pittman. Here's Schneeman. It's a low liner, and Dore, almost the velocity ate her up, but she's able to hold on for the save.
30 yards out, I don't think that's really meant to be a shot on net, but ended up being a dangerous opportunity. Dore probably was more worried about a second ball, but again comes up big, and rebounds are killer on set pieces, so she's got to make sure to hold on. Does a great job to do it there.
So now we're seeing the Mount St. Joseph offense take flight, a little more aggression and a little more ball possession.
And that's all it takes, just one positive look, and you can really start to get momentum in a match like this when it's probably going to be back and forth, and maybe don't expect to see a ton of goals because these teams are so competitive.
Last time we just got together at Marion's and had some pizza and talked. He came over that Marion's there by St. Louis.
It's a battle on the far sideline, and it's out again this time. Rose-Hulman will throw in.
We were really planning on meeting at lunch once a month, but I couldn't get away from him.
Typically, Nick, historically between these two, they are competitive, close games. In the 7 of 8 matches that Rose-Hulman's won, they only won by 1 goal. And now we're going to get our first corner. Ella Pittman was working in, got it out.
Yeah,
so a chance here.
Pittman does a great job to draw a couple of defenders, and nothing you can do as Rose-Hulman but to kick that to the corner. Do not give Mount St. Joseph's best attacker a chance to score there.
Schneeman takes the corner. Low, near box, and the header will stay in play for now and is fielded over there. Far corner battle. It's Mackenzie Dotson who loses it, now cleared by Rose-Hulman.
That was a great ball off that corner from Schneeman, and actually found the head of Pittman, just couldn't quite direct it on frame. Still a good-looking set piece early in this match.
Played in, chance there, Paige Adams, and again Rose-Hulman boots it away.
Good movement.
Good chance for a counter. This is where you're Rose-Hulman. You got to turn on the boosters and take advantage of numbers going forward.
It's Lauren Marquardt. She has tons of speed on the far side. She's working with Jaden Gibson and Katie Choi in the middle. And now Taylor Beatty on the near side. She'll lob it over the middle. And Vivian Willis is there to switch it up, but now Jaden Gibson retrieves it for the Engineers.
Nice ball. There you go.
Some physical play, Nick. You gotta love that.
Especially in the midfield, that's where you're going to see a lot of these battles. And Pollard gets hit with a foul there, but that's an okay one to give up. You're at the midline, and you're trying to be aggressive. Force that turnover. That might make a difference, give you a great look forward.
Deep into the box. Mount St. Joseph will send it back. It's Beatty, and she'll lose it out for a throw. Taylor Beatty, this is going to be her 13th start. Does not start every match. Rose-Hulman pretty consistent with their starters. So interesting to see them mix it up just in the slightest. Did not start the semifinal match against Transylvania. And now Marquardt looking for Katie Choi. Katie Choi has it. And a shot, it's wide.
Yeah, Choi right at the end of that play there after that miss. Claps to Marquardt for such a fantastic ball, and it really was. Great timing on that run to be on sides, and now you get a corner kick.
The chance is not over. It was deflected, so here is the corner. They're looking for Kiana Martin on the near post. Instead, it's out. Rose-Hulman controls. So now we're past 10 minutes into this match, 12 in. And it's more of an even time of possession battle than we initially would have thought.
Rose-Hulman has done a pretty good job in possession, not getting turnovers, and then also not allowing Mount St. Joseph to counterattack at all. They've been pretty slow moving the ball forward. But Pittman and the other attackers up front are always going to be dangerous, so this game could change in an instant.
So what do you look for? We'll start with Mount St. Joseph, since they are the more aggressive team by nature. Them to do differently to get more shots on goal than they have so far.
I think I want to see more balls played to feet. They've sent a lot of long balls forward over the top of heads, but I think if you can possess and just pass effectively, a lot of contact there. No foul called. The home fans didn't like the no call. But yeah, I think just play to feet. Use your midfielders to find your strikers, hopefully facing towards goal.
You gotta like the precedent that's being set by the officials in terms of the physicality. Because there's so much to play for. As this match gets longer and longer, deeper into the game, we will see an increase in the physicality. There is an example, a foul on Mount St. Joseph.
Yeah, the 50-50 balls are always crucial, and it's a tough one to officiate as a referee because, it's a lot of times really tight in who gets there first. I think they've done a nice job so far letting them play, but also understanding that you can't let them play too much because it will get more physical down the line.
Really good job by Haley Tritzja to take that from Kiana Martin, and now it's found her again. Looking for Schneeman. It's wide. She collided with her teammate, Kerrigan Pollard. Was deflected and out of play. So Mount St. Joseph will throw in on the near side, near the near corner. And they get it into Tritzja.
Let's go Blue! Let's go Blue! Let's go Blue!
And the throw will just go out the end line for a goal kick.
I would have liked Mount St. Joseph to be a little more aggressive when you have a throw that close to the goal line. not a lot of movement from that front three. Could have seen him work a little bit harder to get open and find a pass to get a ball into a dangerous area.
Ella Pittman trying to get it to Mackenzie Schneeman, cannot. And now Rose-Hulman will play it back. First touch for Kira Hicks on the far sideline. Have not seen much of her, Nick. Do you want her to get more involved?
I do. She has started every game for them and has been their leading goal scorer. Played over 1,000 minutes.
Schneeman looking for Pollard, and Lily Dore goes out to get it. She can't fully secure a chance for Mount St. Joseph, and nice job by the back line for Rose-Hulman to get it out of play.
I've been very impressed with the back line and Dore so far. As we take another look at this one, she comes out, doesn't get quite a clean punch. Great communication. You mark your man and then are able to clear it out of bounds, and now can go the other way.
Yeah, well done, Tate. You got to take a look on that, though.
If Dore doesn't go out to get it, that situation becomes even worse for Rose-Hulman. You have to have an aggressive keeper, a keeper that's willing to sacrifice the body, and it's paid off numerous times. Spin move there for Kira Hicks, and loses it right outside the box. Kira Hicks has been the premier goal scorer for Rose-Hulman. 8 goals on the season, has been a critical piece for them over the past few years, but there's certain things she does very well. That's her size, her velocity on the kicks, the strength of them. But there are other instances where she can have some weaknesses. Some of that is the ball handling is easy for her to get dispossessed as a taller player.
The height is such an advantage, especially in the box on set pieces. And you saw right there, she didn't get a ton of help from her other forwards. She drew 3 or 4 defenders. It didn't really have a ton of space to make a pass to keep possession. She's just got to be a touch more clinical in possession in the final third when you might not get all that many chances right at the top of the box.
Schneeman looking for Pittman. And it's out. Goal kick. What have you liked that Mount St. Joseph has been trying to do? Get it to Pittman, get it to Schneeman.
Yeah, get it to your star players, but also play through the midfield. And I think the last couple of minutes they've done a good job of holding on to possession a little longer. They had a few careless turnovers to start this game and starting to feel more comfortable, as you would expect as the game goes on. But just using your back line, there's such an advantage. You can play through them and play direct, but I think if you can play through your midfielders, it's so much more effective to be able to get it to your star attackers.
Early on, this one mirroring that of Rose-Hulman Transylvania, where, yes, Mount St. Joseph controlling time of possession, but Rose-Hulman standing pat, and only 1 shot on the board so far. It's 1-0, so we've seen very little scoring opportunity.
Yeah, there's been a couple chances on either side, none that really could have been finished off. Dore's done a great job coming out and being aggressive in net to start this match. I expect there's going to be a really good chance in the next couple of minutes or here. Probably for Mount St. Joseph because they are dominating possession, but Rose-Hulman has been effective on their counterattacks.
Schneeman works near the far corner and loses it. Well done by the Rose-Hulman back line to force a goal kick.
That's not an easy player to defend in the slightest, and it's not often you're going to be able to win that battle and especially earn a goal kick. That's a really good job. I've loved their one-on-one defending so far in this match.
Immediately booted away and taken away by the Lions. And how satisfied do you think Rose-Hulman, this is how they play, but are they perfectly fine playing just defensive?
Yeah, I think they're probably happy with where they are right now.
So the question, obviously, it's different in a 0-0 game rather than them trailing or being ahead. At what point on the clock do you say it's time to flip a switch? I think now, obviously, too early, as that shot's wild and wide for a goal kick.
I honestly don't think you have to get too much more aggressive if you're Rose-Hulman. Just understand when to take chances, and we've seen a couple of times when they have gotten counterattacks, that's when you get your wing backs up and forward, and they've done a decent job of that so far on the couple of chances they have had. But just be content to know that your back line has looked the part so far in this championship match, and just keep defending against a really volatile offense and win 50-50 balls like that, and then you can try and move forward.
Rose-Hulman punts it away, and there's Jordan Schneider to take it and reignite her offense.
Pretty typical. She hasn't had a ton to do in the early goings of this match.
But now you see the pressure from Rose-Hulman, and they get to do it in the Mount St. Joseph defensive third. So they'll press a few more up.
Yeah, this is where you can get aggressive if you're Rose-Hulman. You have them down in there near their own corner, and you do want to hold them there. Unfortunately, can't win that ball on the near side, but this is kind of where you want your midfielders to really attack and try and win it back, and then go right forward. There's a center back with a good clearance, but see if you can win possession back.
And a handball. Lauren Marquardt had Kira Hicks a chance, but unable to possess it cleanly. And the Lions will work the near sideline.
That's a situation where Hicks does a great job to use her body and out physical a smaller defender.
Trying to get it to Hicks there. And the Mount St. Joseph defense, they don't get the credit because they are offensive, but we talked about them in the open, just the 13 goals allowed all season. That's less than what Rose-Hulman's allowed. So they are very capable back there as well.
That's the one problem if you're Rose-Hulman and you play this style. You're kind of reliant on a mistake from the back line in transition, and you're not going to get many of them. That's great footwork. And a really
Taylor Beatty with the footwork there and gets it to Kiana Martin. And now a foul. Mount St. Joseph's been the more physical one. And it cost them there. Rose-Hulman regains possession.
Yep, Mount St. Joseph very physical to start this match. You expect that in one that means so much. I've been okay with the fouls they've given up. You already talked about how they do win a lot of the matches where they give up more fouls.
Jaden Gibson, she'll lose it, but it will go as a corner off the foot of Alondra Sotelo. It's the first corner and first real opportunity here for Rose-Hulman.
Kick, number 28, Jaden Gibson.
They had one corner on the opposite side earlier in the match.
You're right, second corner.
But it wasn't very effective.
Middle of the box, and Trichja will kick it away.
Pressure, step to it.
And now a shot on goal from way out for Allie Smith.
That was a better ball into the middle off the corner. Hicks just couldn't quite get it down to her feet.
So what do you? Let me ask you about the last shot that went out. Is that a well-advised? Is that a quality look? Is the question, or do you rather just play it back and regain your control, or is that part of the whole approach for Rose-Hulman? Hey, we'll just take a shot. You're going to get possession. If we score, we score. Otherwise, we're fine doing what we're doing.
I think the latter, what you were talking about, is right. They're okay giving possession up, because if you just giving up a goal kick, you can then press high and force difficult chances or situations.
And how about that? Kira Hicks pressuring and forcing another corner.
And there you go. You just keep on pressing. You wear down these defenders. You make them feel pressure, and there's where you can make them make mistakes, and they've done a good job so far.
So Jaden Gibson again. This one's at the back, and it's booted away. Rose-Hulman will send it back over the middle and head it away. And now again, the same type of thing. That's a field goal. That's good. 3 points for Rose-Hulman. A goal kick for Mount St. Joseph.
Obviously, it's part of their tactical plan. Everybody knows that it does not have a real chance of going in the back of the net. But, again, just stay high pressuring and keep forcing Mount St. Joseph to make plays. This is a way to counter that pressure. You move the defense further up the field. If you can have a good goal kick, then it can kind of negate some of what Rose-Hulman wants to do.
And there's that pressure. Kiana Martin applying it. Trying to get it to Trichja, and Rose-Hulman, good takeaway by their ball work back there. Rachel Ginn has had an assist the past 2 games for Mount St. Joseph, loses it there.
Miscommunication in the midfield. Thought she had a right winger who was going to make a run. You get a first substitution in the match.
That's right. Kendall Fox has played in all 17. This is just started 2 of them, comes off as a sub here, and she's been important, Nix. 4 goals, 1 assist. Second most shots on the team with 34, so they look to her to maybe spark the offense over the final 18 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, Fox is what we call a super sub. Maybe even though she's not in the starting 11, she can make just as much of an impact as anybody who is on that first 11 out there. She's been very effective coming off the bench and will probably make a big impact here on this left wing.
And there's Fox to save it, keep it in play. So Tello boots it out, and Rose-Hulman will throw in near midfield. That's what Kira Hicks does so well. Uses the body, boxes out, and takes it away again.
Play for each other, Blue!
Fox wanted to make a run on that near side. Now she gets a touch, but couldn't quite. Gibson didn't quite see her out of the corner of the eye. I think she had a good line. It would have been onside if could have found a through ball to her.
And Hicks just boots it. Katie Choi making a run, can't get there. Willis sends it back toward the middle for Schneeman.
Yeah, she get in trouble on that.
We haven't seen too much of Ella Pittman. And now there's Fox again, that run on the near sideline, Nick.
I like that play a lot from Mount St. Joseph. Even though you didn't find Fox, it was a spell of a couple of good passes, and then you have a chance to make that final entry pass into a dangerous position. Ball wasn't quite good enough to get to Fox, but that's how you possess in the midfield. They did a great job switching the field, too, from right to left. That's what you want to see if you're a Mount St. Joseph fan.
So if you're a Mount St. Joseph midfielder, how do you get it to Fox? What are you looking for there?
Well, so it's all about timing, and you're going to see Fox try and make runs and stay on side behind that with that back line. You gotta turn. It's all about getting the chance to turn and see your wingers. If you can turn towards net, face the goal, you can have an opportunity to send balls forward. It's not always easy to do because your defender's probably going to be right on your hip, and that's a That's a
More
tough collision.
physicality. Paige Callahan goes down. The freshman from Mount St. Joseph who's been impactful this season.
Entering for Rose.
No foul was called, but
Emma Johns.
slow and now back up on her feet.
That was a lot of contact. I thought Callahan got to the ball first, so I wouldn't have been surprised if there was a foul. Luckily, she's able to get up on her own accord.
Notable during that brief injury timeout, we had Emma Johns take over for Katie Choi with 15 to go in this first half. Katie Choi's been active as a forward for Rose-Hulman.
She had one really good chance in the early goings. Now, that's a great run from
There's
Fox
Fox
right there.
trying to get it to Callahan, who we just saw. Now Riley Heasley plays it out.
Fresh legs can make all the difference. And Fox already showing her speed and athleticism and decision-making on this near side has looked really good in the couple of minutes she's seen on the field.
Schneemann plays it into the near post, and Dore is all over it.
Schneemann's slow to get up there. I think she kind of caught the defender trying to get the ball in the middle of the box.
Entering for Rose, number 9, Sydney Schuler.
So as we overhear our public address announcer, Russ Breedy, talk about Sydney Schuler coming in, and she is, I'll call her the super sub on Rose-Hulman's side.
Yeah, Schuler has been very impressive in her own right with 6 goals on the year. No starts either. So
and as a freshman,
yeah,
really impressive stuff. Second most shots or third most, excuse me, for Rose-Hulman. So someone they look to a lot as a offensive weapon. Nice ball from Kira Hicks, but out looking for Schuler, who just came into the game on the near sideline. So now we're nearing 10 minutes. We have 13 minutes to go in this first half. We've seen a couple good chances for Mount St. Joseph with Kendall Fox. What did they have to do differently? I know we talked about getting it to her, seeing her as a midfielder turning, but what else are you looking for?
I'm okay if they haven't played through the middle a lot. It's been trying to use Fox on the wing here, but ooh, that's a tough collision. That's going to be a foul.
Yep.
But yeah, I think you keep sending your wingers on runs, but I'd like to see those midfielders get a little more aggressive and push up. They haven't had a ton of numbers forward all that often, and numbers is the name of the game. If you can get a bunch of attackers and midfielders into the box, you're going to have more options, more opportunities to find somebody open and get one on frame.
It's played toward the far side of the box. They have someone. It's Kiana Martin. And scooped up very nicely by Jordan Schneider on a bounce.
One of the better chances for Rose-Hulman in this match. Martin found the ball right on her right foot. Didn't give too much of a great hit, but that's a great set piece. And you really need to be effective in set pieces and when you haven't had a ton of possession and probably won't going forward.
Taken away. Vianney Garcia has played well as a defender for Rose-Hulman. She's been very active. Now Camille Clark, a little mishap, turnover, and a chance. Tried to get it to Callahan was Ella Pittman. Instead, Clark will boot it out on the far side.
I've liked what Clark's done on that left side in the center back position. She has really forced these Mount St. Joseph Lions to play outside, and the back line has done really, really, really good on one-on-one defending, not giving up any good opportunities from dangerous areas.
Kira Hicks plays it. Can't control. And now a scramble, some physicality, and a foul finally on Rose-Hulman as the crowd erupts.
Yeah, the crowd's been a little bit frustrated with the official, thinking more calls have been on Mount St. Joseph.
They have.
Yes, they have, but I think they have also been the more physical team.
It's another set piece for Schneemann. She plays it deep into the box, and a header is out. Chance there. It was Alondra Sotelo who came up empty, and now a sub. It's Layla Utzler coming on for the Lions.
Schneemann, we've seen a couple of those long set pieces that have been fantastic balls. If you can find the head of your attacker from the 35-yard line, that is really impressive and a good sign going forward. The three strikers just need to be a little bit better about getting it on frame. We haven't seen a ton of shots on net.
I mean, Schneemann, she sure has been a star for the Lions. Senior now and has had multi-digit goals in a couple seasons. First team All-Heartland Conference in 2021 and last year in 2023. And last year won Midfielder of the Year in the Heartland Conference.
She's the definition of consistency and has been for a long time on this Mount St. Joseph team.
Sotelo getting a lot of work, throwing it in as it keeps coming out. And now finally stays in until Kira Hicks will try to send it out, cannot. And now finally out again. Rose-Hulman playing very defensive here with 8:45 to go.
Yeah, when you get in that final third, a lot of times it's just the best decision is to clear it out and clear it out of bounds. Don't give Mount St. Joseph any chances.
Sub coming on. Kira Hicks is out for the final 8:30 of this first half, and one of the more important subs for Rose-Hulman, it's Alex Adams. She had the game-winning assist against Transylvania. Huge as a sub for the Fighting Engineers. She's in there. As Schneemann making some moves on Heasley. There's Paige Adams. She avoids Alex Adams in a shot that Dore easily sweeps up.
A nice little Maradona move with the footwork and a good shot testing Dore.
There's Kentel Fox. Some bodies collide there. Garcia goes down, and Callahan trying to get it back to Fox. Working by the end line. And played well and out by Beatty.
Callahan and Fox did a great job of overlapping there. Fox came to the ball, which is rule number one. If it's not going to get to you, still go after it and be aggressive. And then Callahan sees the space down near the end line and finds Fox and allows them to win a corner.
Again, Schneemann will try to set up one of her teammates deep into the box. It bounces once. Marquardt trying to guard, and Dore is up and gets it. Oh, Dore. Quite a leap there. Dunking on a Mount St. Joseph forward. Not the tallest as Dore. We've seen it come back to bite her in a couple of matches where a shot goes over her head, but that time showed off the hops to go save that.
She's been aggressive and has not given up any rebounds. That is a especially dangerous chance for Mount St. Joseph with a number of attackers in the box. Dore has been calm, cool, and collected in this first half.
Taken away, Camille Clark making a run. Some action here for Rose-Hulman over the head of Emma Johns, and now Mount St. Joseph with it again. You know, I'm loving, Nick, the two Lion mascots we got down in the fan section here. They've been vocal and they've been pretty funny.
Yeah, a couple of nice Lion onesies. They look pretty warm, which it's kind of cold tonight here. And
I heard of what gets better than 6 minutes 16 seconds, 6 minutes 12 seconds. I think 5 minutes 26 seconds is even better. That's where we're at right now. As a foul will set up a set piece here for Rose-Hulman as they stack the box, try to get something going. Camille Clark will play it to the near side of the box. Emma Johns finds it and will just throw it up there, and wide. Jordan Schneider lets it go out for a goal kick.
Come on, Blue, we're being outplayed. Let's go.
Rose-Hulman, what started with a pretty even possession game turned pretty quickly to having to sit back and defend and hope to counterattack. They have not had nearly enough possession in the final third.
You know, I do want to throw something up there, though, because those shots that we've been discounting, those just kind of lob shots, if you want to call it that, which have not worked at all in this match. They've served more as a transition of possession, is what allowed them to score their only goal against Transylvania when Alex Adams threw one up. It somehow hit the top of the crossbar and allowed for Marquardt to be right in position to put it in. Is there any thought of that, any remembering what happened last game, playing into, hey, let's just throw it up here from 30 yards out? Schneemann working by herself, trying to get it to Fox. She finds Fox. Fox with a head of steam. She's into the box, plays it back for Callahan, and it's intercepted. Well done. The back line stands tall again.
Perfect ball from Schneemann to Fox, and a great look to Callahan. That's the right decision. Rose-Hulman was ready for it and cleared it out, but Mount St. Joseph is really starting to find their footing late in this first half, threatening multiple times with under 5 minutes to go here.
3:30 to be exact. Another corner coming for the Lions.
Mount St. Joe corner kick.
Schneemann's had terrific touch on them today. Plays this one far into the box, a header, and look at that. Dore couldn't get there, but Camille Clark could. She kicks it away.
Another great ball from Schneemann.
Sometimes it's the goalkeeper saving the defense, and this time it was more the back line saving Dore. Another one in there, and this time Dore comes out, as she's done a number of times, to go get it. So you said a beautiful ball by Schneemann on that last corner. She's had a number of them, but haven't resulted in anything. Not that she's going to do something better, but what can her teammates do better to have the result be better?
So I think they need to focus more on not necessarily going direct to net off the first ball into the box, but if you can play it again into the middle for a second opportunity, maybe find someone on the back post. That's where you can be really effective in set-piece opportunities.
Schneemann working on Beatty, just sends one toward the middle, and Dore takes charge. Now under 2 minutes remaining in this first half of play. Championship soccer on HCAC, and a ball. There's Sydney Schuler. And how about that slide tackle averts any trouble. Clean and out of play. A corner, though, coming for Rose-Hulman.
Sotelo, last line of defense there. She's put her body on the line a couple times in this right corner. Has to slide tackle, and if you don't get that right, it could be a goal on the other end. So a big spot, a big stop for her as the left back.
So now it's Marquardt to take the corner. This is different than in the past. Sends it to the near side, a header to the back. Not perfectly on target, and now the shot is wide.
It's kind of what I was talking about on the other end. I actually like that. Marquardt plays it to the front post and then a flick looking for attackers on the other side of the box.
It was Schuler who went to that far post to take the shot. So now we're under a minute, 40 seconds. Rose-Hulman still with a chance here, trying to get on the board as the seconds tick off. But aside from time of possession, very even first half, Nick.
Yeah, these teams, 1 and 2 in the conference, we knew it was going to be a battle all night long. It's lived up to the billing so far. Playing their brand of soccer, very different on each side, but chances on both ends. Goalies have stayed strong. Back lines have looked good. Somebody's going to have to come out on fire in the second half.
7, 6.
5 seconds, and Willis sends it back to Schneider, and that will do it from the first half. Here at Mount St. Joseph, first half of play between Rose-Hulman and the Mount St. Joseph Lions in the Heartland Conference Championship. We have 0-0 through the first half, Nick, and we've talked about it at length. The chances that Mount St. Joseph has had, the mostly defensive play for Rose-Hulman, aside from a couple of chances, a couple corners, a few of them now. Not too many looks, though, overall.
No, there hasn't been a ton of shots on frame by either side. It's a 0-0 score line, and it has felt like a 0-0 game. These teams, we knew it was going to be good defense, and somebody's just going to have to take advantage of mistakes. There hasn't been a ton of mistakes on either side, but there's been a couple of good runs, especially from Mount St. Joseph. If they can find a way to get that better ball into the middle of the box, somebody can get a clear foot on it and maybe put it past Dore, but she's been great so far too.
14 minutes, 20 seconds before the second half kicks off. We'll take a break here on HCAC.tv.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service.
Are you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
Big play here for Mount Vernon. Hurdle looking right, now over the middle, fires, and it's in there for a touchdown. What a throw.
Boy, what a stick, huh?
Side out, back to the middle, and guess what? You want a point on the other side, you go to Taylor Lewis.
Here's Freeman. Has an opening shot. Score!
Stafford around a screen. Skip pass. Mays with 3. Mays drive. Floater up and in at the horn.
Hand off, and nice hole over the near side. 40, 35, 30. Block to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. And that's a big one right there. And finally, somebody gets on the board.
Welcome back here on HCAC.TV. Halftime in the Heartland Conference Championship match between Rose-Hulman and Mount St. Joseph. Sam Cinder alongside Nick Abel. Nick, 0-0 here at halftime. Have not seen too many offensive chances. A lot of strong defensive play. That back third for both sides has played tremendously well. Mount St. Joseph has dominated time of possession. But what do you look at in terms of the shot numbers for both sides early on?
So each sides have 3 shots on net through 40 minutes, and you wouldn't expect that with time of possession, which has been dominated by Mount St. Joseph. And actually, it's Rose-Hulman who's got more shots. Now, granted, a lot of these shots are from 25, 30 yards out and aren't really great chances, but 7 shots, only 3 on net. I just think Mount St. Joseph has got to be more effective with possession. They've got to be better in the final third. Test Dore a little bit more, get some more shots on net.
Really shocking when I saw that, just tied in shots on goal and just 3 for Mount St. Joseph despite the possession, as you mentioned. And for Rose-Hulman, can you make the argument that despite the time of possession, despite the feel of the first half, that they've actually played, 1, how they want, and 2, been the better team based on those numbers?
They are definitely playing the style that they want to play. This is the kind of match they wanted to get into. They wanted it to be low scoring. They wanted to be able to sit back, defend, not allow too many shots on net, which they've done a great job of so far, and then counterattack. Now, the counterattack hasn't been as good as it needs to be, but they've had a couple of corners. They've had 3 corners on the night. They just need to take advantage of some of these set-piece opportunities, which is where they can make their mark and really make Mount St. Joseph pay.
We said Mount St. Joseph has to be better in the final third. For Rose-Hulman, we said they're playing how they want, but they have to score to win, or, the game cannot end in a draw.
No.
So do they change anything as the clock gets to 15 minutes to go in the second half, 10 minutes to go, or do they play, hey, we're just going to take anything we can possibly get and play the same style we've played so far?
I think you tweak it a little bit, but not too much, because you don't want to get totally out of system. You can be a little bit more aggressive, especially as some wing backers, your left and right back, can push up a little bit forward and try and play with possession more, and then play through midfielder or send your outside wingers on runs. But I would still stay pretty low, stay packed in that shell, but then just be more aggressive when it comes to counterattacking and really try and they've been sending a lot of long balls to strikers, and I think if they can just try and play to feet a little bit more, it might bode well for them.
Well, we'll see if either side can make an adjustment. Second half coming up here on HCAC.TV.
Brian Chrisman joins me today. And Brian, talk a little bit about the winter and Wheeler Mission and how important it is for people to help Wheeler Mission, because winter means homeless and homeless means people in the cold. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we really serve a lot of people year-round, no matter what the weather is, right? And so we serve anywhere from 700 to 900 people who are experiencing homelessness every single night. But when winter hits, that can become life or death. So if you're stuck out in the cold, happens every year, IMPD will find people out in the cold and encourage them to come in. But if they don't catch them in time, again, life and death. And so it's vital that our doors are open. And so we do that. Our staff shows up every day to make sure our doors are open. We serve 1,000 meals a day plus every single day. That's a nice, warm, nutritious meal. Donors provide that. Donors provide our food, coffee, something hot to drink. Donors provide that. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved at Wheeler to make sure we can get through winter, or to work at Wheeler. We need staff, and so we're always looking for staff to get us through the winter time. We spread ourselves thin during winter, making sure that anybody can find space, and so we have bed capacities. For sure, but we go beyond that every winter to make sure that the city has an option for people who are experiencing homelessness in the dead of winter.
Schools out there that are watching this program with our reach, maybe they want to do a sock drive, or they want to do a sweatshirt drive. They can contact our office at IndianaSRN, or they can contact you. Where's a contact, or who would be a contact that maybe we want to do a sock drive? I think that would be a great idea for SRN to start one of those sock drives. How would that? What does that look like?
Yeah, so if you go to wheelermission.org, we have our needs lists that are right there on our website. Those change sometimes in the winter, but there are some needs that are pretty much continual when it comes to hygiene items, when it comes to warm items to get us through the winter. So when you're talking about coats, especially bigger sizes for people that come through, we want to make sure a lot of people that come to our mission, they come with the clothes on their back, right? And so we need to make sure they have something to wear during their stay with us, and which could be for a few weeks, could be for a couple months. And so go to our website, wheelermission.org. You can donate directly there, whether it's a financial donation or you can look at our needs list. You can even find drop-off locations. You can drop it off at some of the barns that we have around the city, or come right down to Wheeler Mission, drop it off right there. But we need this community's support. So greatest thing about Indianapolis is it is a generous community.
Yes.
It is a community that steps up when there's a need. And there's 1,700 homeless individuals in our community. That number has risen 5% just over the last year. Wheeler Mission is the main place for those individuals to go, has been since 1893, over 130 years. And so support that ministry so that those doors can be open, making sure that every man, woman, and child that needs to come inside can come inside and not only get warm, but get nutritious meals, food, shelter, and care. And so beyond that, we take them through a whole journey of program to make sure that they come out our back door different people. But the first things first, right? Get them fed and get them warm and get them safe.
Since it's basketball season and we cover over 300 games a year on IndianaSRN, we challenge our basketball teams and our basketball programs to get involved. There are meals that need to be served. Tell our teams out there how they can help and serve meals.
Yeah, no better way to really open your eyes to the community's needs than to stand in front of people who are desperately in need and hand them a meal, hand them what they're asking for that day. So great group opportunity is to volunteer at Wheeler Mission. You can go to wheelervolunteer.org. You can sign up a group. It can take an hour and a half to come down and serve a lunch. You can get 12, 15 people involved in that, a dinner. Come down either at our men's shelter or our women's shelter. It's a really cool experience for teams, not only to help in a way that you're making a difference, but to see the people that you're helping, right? To hand a meal to someone and smile and say hi to someone literally in their darkest moment, right? So
best assist they can ever make.
Oh yeah,
is to serve a meal.
That's a good point. It's a slam dunk.
It's a slam dunk, exactly. For IndianaSRN, this is Keith Myers.
Welcome back on HCAC.TV. Heartland Conference Championship game 0-0 here at half. Last time we talked, Nick, we talked about what the teams have to do to change or not change how they want to play the second half. What about specific players? Who are you looking for? We'll start with on Mount St. Joseph's side to make an impact on the second half.
For me, the game completely changed 15, 20 minutes into the match when Kendall Fox came into the game. Super sub for Mount St. Joseph, 4 goals on the season. And on this left wing, she has given a lot of problems to the Rose-Hulman defenders. I want to see more of her and more of her with the ball at her feet. If that midfield can find her and let her go to work, she's been effective. She sent balls, dangerous balls into the box. I want to see more of that from them and more of that from her.
And what about on the Rose-Hulman side?
For Rose-Hulman, I think it's got to be I really think it's got to be Hick up front, and she got subbed out about midway through that first period. She's got to use her body and be more effective with the ball in the final third. They haven't had a lot of chances, and they're not going to, frankly, have a lot of possession in the final third. So you need those strikers, specifically her, to be really, really effective up top. Yeah, she's just such a big presence. You need that big presence as a striker and a number 9. And she has 8 goals on the year. She can do it, and that's what you want to see.
I'll pick 3 other players on Rose-Hulman, those being the wingers, Alex Adams, Lauren Marquardt, and Sydney Schuler, who have been running along the sidelines. They've been doing such a good job over the season for Rose-Hulman. We've seen an absence of them today. particularly Marquardt, who has so much speed, a track background. If she can really get going and then find Hicks over the middle, they can be what gives Rose-Hulman that critical opportunity.
Yeah, I especially like that you mentioned Marquardt. She's tied for the most assists of anyone on the team, and she has been good when they've given her long set-piece opportunities. Much like Schneemann on the other side, just let her get the ball at her feet and try and play Hicks in the middle. They got it. They just got to take advantage of opportunities. There hasn't been a ton for either side. Someone's going to have to make a difference. It's probably going to be one of those couple of players.
Teams taking the field. Once again, we're about 25 seconds away from the second half kicking off. How about Amy Hellewell for Rose-Hulman? One win away. She's at 149 career wins with the Fighting Engineers. This win, which would be a monumental one, would be her 150th.
Yeah, she has been a staple for this program and has led them to great things. Obviously, none bigger than what could potentially be an NCAA berth if they can find a way to win this second half. It is always a tight conference and not an easy one to win.
Rose-Hulman has won the Heartland Conference tournament 2 of the past 5 years. They'll look to make it 3 of 6. The second half nearly about to get underway. A bid to the Division III National Tournament on the line. Not much has separated these two in the first half. We'll look to see if anything can separate them in the final 45 minutes.
And Sam, a lot of coaches will talk about it's the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of halves that you have to win. So somebody might get an opportunity to come out early in this second half and change the script for both these teams. We'll see who can maybe have an impact.
Looking for Pollard, can't quite get it to her. And you know, Nick, historically between these two, it's been so contested back and forth. No side has won more than 2 matches consecutively. Guess where we're at right now? Mount St. Joseph has won the last 2. History tells us that Rose-Hulman would take this one, but this game has not been up to or this season rather has not even been up to the precedent. Anything can happen. Playoff soccer, championship soccer. So can't look into the historical trends that tightly.
No, you cannot, especially in a match like this where it's probably going to be one mistake, one weird bounce, one fantastic finish that will decide it. It's all playing the field in front of you. You have 45 minutes between you and a chance to make history here.
Pittman plays it off her chest, had a chance, and offsides. Pollard was the one they were trying to get it to.
Pittman's been a little quiet in the middle of the field up top, and you got to know where the defenders are, stay on side if you want more balls to come in from the midfield. I like that she tried to turn initially, but she's got to be in the onside position.
When do you think the pace will pick up? We've seen a fairly slowish pace, which I think favors Rose-Hulman. When do you see anything changing with that or not?
I don't expect, if at this point you're probably not going to change a ton of pace in the second half, especially with these teams who are so neck and neck. You're going to kind of want to play the same style you played in the first half and just change up a couple different things, but don't do too much to try and reinvent the wheel.
Allie Smith turnover.
I do like that Rose-Hulman is being aggressive in the opening minutes, mirroring the opening minutes of this match where they had more possession.
And you got to think that's something that's been a coaching point, something they talked about at halftime. Kerrigan Pollard gets her way around Camille Clark. And there's Pittman near sideline trying to find its way into the box. And Dore could not come up with it. Loses it, and that could be a big mistake as it's a corner kick now for Mount St. Joseph.
Dore, a little bit of a baffling decision there. Could have let it go out of bounds for a goal kick.
Absolutely.
Instead, tries to play it. She's been really collected and not giving up any rebounds.
And let's point out, it's Ella Pittman taking the corner, not Schneemann. And she'll play it to the near post. Some chaos there, but booted out nicely by Emma Johns. And now Vivian Willis will send it back in. Chance here, Kerrigan Pollard, and it's wide. Could not get the touch.
That's
one of the better chances we've seen today.
That's a great ball into the box from the center back who's not used to sending it 40 yards up the field, and great timing on that run too. It was
Vivian Willis.
Willis who was right there. That's a great ball from the back from Willis. She's not had a ton of work to do at that center back position. It's more been the wingbacks who have had to deal with the attackers, but sometimes going to direct from the center back can be effective. Almost was for Mount St. Joseph there.
Pittman again trying to get it to Pollard. Yes! And some physicality. It was rolled out the end line, but a foul on Mount St. Joseph.
I like that call, and it's actually a really good play from Camille Clark. When you know you have position, sometimes you can just brace for contact and embellish it a little bit. She's got her full back turned and just a clean shoulder. It's going to be a foul every time. Good positioning from Clark on the defensive side there.
Pollard and Pittman working. Gets it back to Pollard. A nice ball. And there's Kendall Fox. We talked a lot about her. Ricocheted off of Taylor Beatty's leg, but right to the hands of Dore.
I would have liked to see her take another touch there. She kind of had to spin around and didn't have a chance to get a dangerous ball. And then even if that goes on frame, Dore is going to be able to handle it with ease. Mount St. Joseph, though, trying to take more shots in this early part of the second half.
We talked about this during the break, something that was a little surprising to us, how few shots they had despite all the possession. Just 4 total, 3 of the 4 were shots on goal. Already with a couple here in the second half. And there's Willis trying to get another ball. Deep ball looking for Pittman. Well defended Allie Smith. Sends it still in though, and Pittman. There's a push. And the crowd cannot believe it. Pittman looking on at the side judge. No foul, a corner instead, and physicality increasing.
I like that no call in that part of the field. Pittman just kind of puts on the brakes, baiting contact, and does a good job to try and get a call. Obviously, the fans not very happy about it. The home crowd, Mount St. Joseph.
Oh, they just saw what Camille Clark did. It's pretty similar.
Similar play. I think as an offensive player, you get less leeway in doing that.
Pittman put it on the ground this time from the corner. Looked to Sharipa for a shot. Instead, went to the other side of the field, and now a throw-in as Mount St. Joseph remains in their attacking third. Kendall Fox into Pollard again. Camille Clark all over it. Hasn't she played well here? Start of the second half.
Clark's been everywhere on that defensive side. It's a decent ball from Fox. Not a ton Pollard can do. Too much speed. Right at the midsection. She can't really settle that, bring it down. Can't either use like her head to put it on frame. And Clark just does a great job to get position and get a goal kick.
Paige Adams surveying the middle of the field and plays it back to Willis. Notably absent for Rose-Hulman to start the second half is Kira Hicks. It's been how Rose-Hulman has played the majority of their matches, leaving her on the bench to start the second after subbing out in the first. We'll look for her to rejoin this one somewhere around the 20-minute mark. But in a championship match, wouldn't you expect your best player to play a little bit more? It's just how they've won this way. They want to stick this way.
It's a great ball to switch fields.
And trying to get it to Alex Adams, a little bit behind her and picked off by Paige Adams.
Just careless with the ball. When you have that good spell of possession, you've got to take advantage when you haven't had a ton of possession over the midfield line if you're Rose-Hulman.
Trying to get it into Pollard. Can't quite get the touch, and now Marquardt can't get there. A long shot bouncing right to Dore from Sharipa. And you can watch Dore more than happy to take as much time as possible. Wants a slow pace, wants this to drain. The longer this goes on, 0-0, I think Rose-Hulman is the happier team.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman pretty content with how this match has gone. Stylistically, this is how they needed this game to go in order to win it. Now you just got to find that spark, find a mistake, and be able to answer.
Let me ask you a field question, and I know for Mount St. Joseph, they played on this field all season. Rose-Hulman has seen this field numerous times. But do you think the light yellow outline of the box is ever deceptive or tricky for a goalkeeper?
It could definitely play an effect, especially for Rose-Hulman, who isn't obviously as comfortable playing here, given it's not their home turf. It's pretty faint. It's hard to see from up here in the booth. Dore, fortunately, is on the easier side. The marking is better over here.
Chance again for Pollard, can't get there and out of play.
It's also note for defenders, it can be difficult because you play more aggressively outside the box than you will in. You're not willing to foul when it comes to being inside the box.
And an eruption. First subs fairly early on here in the second half. Both Mackenzie Schneeman, who was so important, come on for Mount St. Joseph, as well as Mary Anhofer, who had the game winner in the semifinal against Hanover, has scored in the last 2 matches for Mount St. Joseph.
Sometimes you get a little bit of a goal-scoring streak going, and it may not be anything tangible, but it's intangible. You get that boost of confidence, and you play a little bit better. You maybe be more aggressive on the offensive end, and when the ball's going in, the ball's going in. It is for Anhofer. She could be a hero again tonight if she can find an opening goal.
So we'll look for her in the 21 jersey. Chance here, Marquardt. Now we get to see her streak along the sideline. Plays it in, but right to Schneider. Nothing cooking.
Not a bad idea. And it was Brooks with the nice footwork and the great ball to Marquardt. Haven't said her name a ton tonight. Like what she did in the midfield that time.
Midfielder Stacia Brooks from San Jose, California. Senior, both these teams very heavy with the seniors. They played an instrumental role, and we mentioned California for Brooks. It's interesting the dynamics of these two teams. Rose-Hulman, 18 different states represented, 2 different countries. Mount St. Joseph, all of their players coming from 3 states.
It shows you that you can build programs in different ways. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You can be successful playing a number of different styles, as we've seen tonight. Both these teams play very different soccer, and it comes the same way with building a team.
So Sharipa will take this set piece, plays it into the near side of the box. And Marquardt is there to gather, and now will showcase her speed, streaking down, trying to get it to Schuler along the other side, but intercepted by Sotelo.
Sotelo has made a number of vital interceptions. Has been very solid on the back line tonight.
Ball ricocheting around, finds Kendall Fox. Slips for a second, now back up into the box. Still with it. 2 defenders pushing. Ball loose, and now Dore will dive on top of it. Little bit of havoc there, and havoc is what scores goals a lot of times in games like this.
And it's Kendall Fox's speed that creates that havoc. On that left side, she blew by her defender not once but twice, tried to get a ball into the middle. Mount St. Joseph, we've talked about their stout defense, doesn't allow anything. Rose-Hulman doesn't allow anything near Dore that's dangerous.
And now another chance for Ella Pittman. But again, the Rose-Hulman defense, as you mentioned, they have been excellent, that back line. And it's nothing that they're not used to. It's been this way all season for them. They had a tough non-conference schedule, started 0-5, but have since rebounded in conference play. It's what the non-conference is meant for. Prepared them for in-conference. Same thing with Mount St. Joseph, a combined 1 loss between them, and it was Rose-Hulman losing to the Lions.
A yellow card was issued there to Riley Helsley. The first yellow we've been shown tonight, not that surprising in a game that's this aggressive, but
we've seen a number of fouls called, and this just plays into it. Helsley's done a great job, one of the many members of that back line for Rose-Hulman, and now has to be a bit careful. But nothing that, championship game, and tell me if you disagree with me, but for someone as vital as she is to the back line, despite the yellow card, you can't take her out.
No, you need her. She started 16 of 17 matches. She's been very effective, and it does change how you have to play on the defensive side of the field, but I don't see them taking her out anytime soon. It would just change too much of how this team plays. She'll have to change just a little bit, just a little bit more careful in a game that's been super aggressive.
Under 30 minutes to go in the second half, still knotted 0-0. And Dore will take care of that, giving chase with Anoffer.
Just 30 minutes left. The intensity probably will increase a little bit. Teams might get sped up, and that can either create chances or create sloppy play in the midfield.
So what I wanted to ask you was, this game cannot end in a draw. We will, if we're 0-0 at the end of this, we're going to go to an overtime period. But does seeing the clock dwindle down further and further without a goal on the board create that intensity? Say, hey, now we need to make a play. We need to get aggressive here, despite the fact that you're not trailing. It's 0-0.
Especially for Mount St. Joseph, who has dominated possession, that will probably be the case. When you feel like you have had more chances and maybe should win this game, it puts more of an emphasis on securing the W before overtime, which, quite frankly, doesn't give you a lot of opportunities to score in open play. Only 2-minute overtime periods in 2 of them. So essentially, permitting a crazy sequence of events, you'll probably go to penalty kicks, which isn't always the most fair way to decide a match after 90 minutes of play, but it's just how some of these games go, and with teams that have been this tight all year long, it wouldn't be that surprising if it came down to somebody on the penalty spot.
Well, you are right, and let's just recap what you said about the overtime rules. If we are still tied at the end of regulation, we'll go to a first 2-minute overtime sequence. If we are tied after that, we'll go to a second 2-minute period. That will be followed by penalty kicks. If anyone scores during either 2-minute halves, then that will be the game, as Mackenzie Schneeman takes a wild shot on goal, but Dore not strong enough for her to go get it.
Schneeman was falling off balance about a couple yards away from the 18. You're not going to be able to get a lot of power on that shot, and Dore and Rose-Hulman can handle that easily and try to go the other way.
And one more note on the overtime that I mentioned, but just to reiterate, it's golden goal. So one goal does it, whether it's in the first 10 seconds or in the final 10 of either 2-minute period.
Not even being in overtime, just this
game is nearly golden.
That's what I was going
goal.
to say. It feels like a golden goal situation just because these teams have been very good defensively, and both goalies have been pretty clean throughout 60 minutes of this match.
Camille Clark defending a shot for Anoffer, and well defended. But out on Clark, so it will be a corner for the Lions.
Clark pleading her case. Thought that Anoffer was the last to touch it. The official disagrees. So another set piece for Mount St. Joseph.
Mount St. Joe corner kicks, number 25, Mackenzie Schneeman.
Schneeman back to kick it on the corner kick.
She's had an impeccable touch on these, but the Lions haven't finished yet. We'll see what she does here.
Different look. A lot of players on the goal line try and create chaos. Get Dore off her game.
Headed up in the air, and Dore easy for her.
Another good ball from Schneeman right at about the 6-yard box. It's going to be more difficult as an attacker when you come from the goal line to the 6-yard box to then get your momentum, especially on a header to try and move it forward. It's easier to get those runs in. May have considered trying to take that one to ground.
That's intercepted. Stacia Brooks. Chance there for Alex Adams, but well defended by Mackenzie Dotson.
Now corner.
And they're saying that Schneider, when she went to retrieve that ball along the end line, she was out. So we're going to get a corner out of this for Rose-Hulman.
What a quick change of pace as a couple subs come in.
Big spot, and guess who's coming in? It's Kira Hicks. Katie Choi along with her.
Number 16.
Couldn't have asked for a better time for her to come in as the tallest player on the field. That size is absolutely a weapon in free kick and corner kick opportunities. You see she's getting man-marked by 2 defenders. They don't want to give her any chance getting near that goal.
6'3", towers over defenders, trying to get it to her. And again, just missing, and now sent out by Willis, and nicely handled by Anoffer, gets it to Callahan, and the two of them are running down the field. So other than scoring there, that's essentially as well as you want to play in transition if you're Mount St. Joseph. Chance here nearly in the attacking third. Sharipa to throw it in. Kerrigan Pollard back to Sharipa. She'll send it into the box. Trying to get it to Anoffer for a header just over her head. Well-designed play there for the Lions, and we remain scoreless.
What a ball from Sharipa. Didn't take a touch one time over the middle. That's as good as you can do from that position. Another great opportunity for Mount St. Joseph.
Little run here by Allie Smith. Tried to get it over to Katie Choi, but didn't have the distance. Mackenzie Dotson plays it back, and now it's ricocheting around near midfield. Mount St. Joseph gets it to Callahan, working across the middle. There's Rachel Ginn. She's been monumental the past couple matches. But Rose-Hulman, the passing lanes just close so quickly, Nick.
Yep, they have all those players on their side of the field for that reason exactly. They do not want to give Ginn or any other Lions attacker space to operate with open field. They've done a very, very good job of discombobulating some of the Mount St. Joseph attack and not giving them too much time and space in the final third.
Callahan intercepts.
It's a careless giveaway.
Has Pollard in transition, a little shoulder bump, no call. We play on.
It's too slow for Mount St. Joseph. You have numbers. You really need to go forward, especially on that Pollard shove. She should try to get it to the corner.
Callahan falls down, takes a shot toward goal, and Dore easily takes it and swips it back out. Is that a well-advised shot there, falling down?
No, I think fatigue's starting to set in this match. You saw a couple of Mount St. Joseph attackers who were pretty stagnant, not moving at all. You're falling down from 16 yards out. You're not really going to have a chance to. Nobody's even there looking for a rebound.
And something you mentioned on the last one was the push. You had numbers. Why not push? You know, we're 21 minutes to go in transition as some subs come in. Jaden Gibson, notably among them. But you're right. Why not? If you're Mount St. Joseph, you've dominated possession. That's maybe one of your best shots that you could potentially have. Why not go for it?
I think Pollard valued the aggression over playing the ball a little bit too much. Recognized that she was probably going to face some contact. I would have liked to see her just send the ball forward and try and beat her in a foot race versus having to stop, pull back, and then let Rose-Hulman able to regain and regroup on defense. A little bit of a baffling spell that could have been handled better by Mount St. Joseph.
Well, as we approach 20 minutes remaining in the second half, I'll ask you, as each minute comes off the clock in the second half, who does that favor as we go deeper and deeper into this one?
Up until this point, I would have said the Lions, but they just look a little tired. I think they are not, like the midfielders right now especially, are not at all close to the ball, forcing the center backs to have to evade, and nobody's coming back to the ball. You're taught as a midfielder you have to go and help your defense. Like right there, careless giveaway on the sideline, allowing Rose-Hulman to get a chance of possession, which they have not had a ton of. I think it's favoring Rose-Hulman right now. They're just a little bit slow, and
you hear the fans shout, "Blue, you got to dig deep." And I think they're noticing what you have picked up on, some fatigue, some lack of energy of late. Now, knowing that this is a championship game, Heartland Conference on the line, how much does that play into it? Hey, I'm tired, but I have one final push.
These players will give it their all. There's not a doubt. And right there, like they're going to be physical down to the last second, no matter what the score is. I think you got to be a little bit more efficient in using your energy. You don't need to go and try and battle and shoulder off every ball. You got to still keep your shape. And
good ball there to Callahan from Pollard, and a foul is called just outside the box. One of the better balls we've seen from Mount St. Joseph, and a golden chance here. They'll get a set piece from one of their best players, Schneeman, coming up.
And Pollard does a great job to get positioning and then recognize she has positioning, play into the contact a little bit, and go down immediately. This is a very, very big set piece.
So I have to mention, the set piece is what won the game for Mount St. Joseph in October. They found Pittman. It was a one-hopper tour that put over the head of Dore. We'll see if they remember that, try to do something similar here.
Can also go to goal from here. You're only 20 yards out.
Schneeman's on the ground again. The wall defends, and now the chaos ensues. Ball bouncing around on the far sideline, and out of play, a throw-in.
Bit uncharacteristic from Schneeman. She's been fantastic on a lot of these set pieces. Maybe her worst one of the night, in all honesty. Just right into the wall, the last place you want to put that ball. I think fatigue is definitely becoming an issue. I think if that's in the first 30 minutes of this match, it probably is put into a better position.
Callahan's played a big role. Possesses there. Finds Schneeman, a shot. It's wide. It was on the ground and curled Wide right of Dore and the right post.
Great positioning, especially from Schneemann. She recognizes where the ball is going to be, sees an opening, and then with a good opportunity, a good one-time right there. Can't get it on frame, but positive signs from Mount St. Joseph after a couple of minutes of them looking a little slow.
Kiana Martin works with Schuler. She finds Kira Hicks. And back to Schuler.
Great run.
Rose-Hulman running. And Vivian Willis, tremendous defense. Out hustles Schuler and gets it out of there.
So what you're taught as a defender, you got to either get the man or the ball. Neither gets behind you. And a great job tracking down the ball. A couple defenders collapse.
There's Hicks. Went for a shot right off a defender. It was Pollard. And bounces out near midfield. If you're Hicks, you haven't possessed the ball much. Do you value taking a shot there? Mount St. Joseph trying to run in transition. And Pollard couldn't quite get the pass from Callahan.
Camille Clark's going to take a sigh of relief. Almost a costly turnover in the back there. Just took too heavy of a touch when she saw some space opening up, but Pollard is all over her.
Again, trying to get to Callahan. They have a shot here. Callahan is beyond her, and a shot. It's wide left. Allie Smith in defense, and Nick, you're asking why?
I am asking why. You need to take a touch there. Here, take a look at it. You have space into that corner. I just don't really understand that decision from Callahan. It was a phenomenal ball. You're not going to get a great shot with a lot of velocity on it when you've been running for 20 yards and then have to try and step into it. You're in transition. I think you can try and go one-on-one with your defender there and elect to take some more time.
Some good pressure here by Rose-Hulman, and it results in a turnover. Kiana Martin, Katie Choi, and they work it back to Gibson. Crossing the field for Schuler, and well defended. Sotelo's been all over the place tonight.
That's a ball that's difficult to make work. You're kind of telegraphing it. Sotelo's been good and makes another great stop right there. Easy to read, can see it in your eyes that you want to switch fields. Gives plenty of time for the left back to get over there and intercept.
Pollard boxing out, possesses at midfield. Another shot looking for Callahan. She's faster than everyone, but can't quite get to it. Right into the hands of Dore.
That is great recognition from Pollard to know that she has a midfielder making a play and sees the run behind her without turning towards goal, is able to play it back and allow for Callahan to turn on the jets. And even though it doesn't result in a touch, it's very impressive work from Mount St. Joseph.
Allie Smith right into the middle of the field, and Kira Hicks nearly a takeaway, but Sotelo will get it to Utzler.
Utzler sent that last great ball forward to Callahan, sends another one.
And a foul here. It's on Rose-Hulman.
I will say, Callahan has gone down easy a couple of times. She's gotten the call, so she's going to keep doing it, but definitely embellishing some of the contact, recognizing it's coming. That's a mark of a good striker, knowing when to go down. She's made the right decisions tonight.
It certainly is an art. They're stacking the far side of the box. Sharipa will take this set piece. It's to the near side. And Paige Adams will boot that one far and wide. And now some subs come in.
Not a ton that Adams can do. with her back towards net. No attackers in any vicinity, so just tries to put it over her head. Probably wasn't intended to be a shot, hoping for someone to be on the back post. Too much firepower there. Goes up and over. Dore.
Well, now Utzler comes off and Offer comes back in. She's had 2 game winners this season, has scored in the last 2. Got Mount St. Joseph past Hanover, trying to get them back to the national tournament for the first time since 2018. 11:52 remaining. We're still 0-0 here. Very defensive game, but the intensity has picked up as we expected over the past 5 minutes or so.
I think they're going to put a couple of extra seconds on as they stopped it for subs. 12:20. It's now or never for either of these teams. Somebody's got to find a winning goal.
And nearly a mistake there. Garcia boots it right to Schneemann, but Schneemann got a boot on it, and then Garcia had to send it out of play for a throw-in for the Lions.
So the type of errors that happen when teams get tired, somebody's going to take advantage of one of these mistakes and break the seal on the net.
It's thrown in. Pollard inside the box and well defended. Booted away. It was Camille Clark.
Good recognition from Clark on when to step in and intervene.
Sydney Schuler takes it away and sends it out of play. A throw-in coming. Sotelo has done the work on those today. And it's out. Corner coming for the Lions. We saw last time they stack the end line. This time not quite as stacked. They have a stacking they're going end line right at that start of the goal line. Schneemann again will take this. She sends it into the middle, and Dore with confidence comes out to grab it.
I've been very impressed with Dore tonight. For a keeper of her size, she's not very tall. She's incredibly aggressive on when she comes out and has been very clean. That is a ball that's really dangerous right on the 6-yard box. Dore recognizes she has some space and can go make a play and does that.
Pollard gets it to Anoffer. A nice ball. She's streaking along the near sideline. And taken away by Allie Smith. Nice work there. Goal kick.
Perfect defending, just boxing out Anoffer. Teams get a little bit of a break as some subs come in. Just 10 minutes remain.
Lauren Marquardt back in for Schuler, and we should note, Ryan Heasley with the yellow card comes back in.
Entering for Rose, number 3, Lauren Marquardt. And number 6, Riley Heasley.
Another sub comes in. Here is someone that's really impressed you today, Nick. It's Kendall Fox. She's done some good work on the side, and Mount St. Joseph has seen that, is rewarding her here with the final 10 minutes, seeing if she can be a difference maker.
Yeah, she has impressed me with her speed all night long.
Schneemann making a run here. Blows by a Rose-Hulman defender and sent out by Heasley. It's a throw-in, but yeah, continue.
And I love the decision from Coach Gallagher to give her a sizable break and then put her in a situation where a lot of the defenders are going to be tired. She's going to have fresh legs, and she's really going to be able to utilize her speed in these last 10 minutes to blow by defenders and make life hard on the Engineers.
They immediately try to get it to Fox, but it's taken away. Garcia has it, tries to get it to Choi. Instead, it's Willis who gives it back to the Lions. They're in the attacking third, and how about Camille Clark? boots it away again.
Yeah, good turn from Fox, but then just way too heavy of a touch in that spot. You got to recognize that the defender is going to be right there.
Rose-Hulman with a few numbers here, trying to get it to Kira Hicks. It's off the back of Kiana Martin. And now booted way downfield by Jaden Gibson.
Keep pressing if you're Rose-Hulman, just so you can do that. Force them to go out of bounds. The midfielders, I feel, in this second half for Mount St. Joseph have not done a good enough job of helping out their center backs.
No call there. Marquardt goes down, and Kendall Fox is showcasing her speed, getting by Clark, but it's out of play. She lost control. It's a goal kick.
Clark recognizes Fox's speed and makes her put on the brakes. She looked really comfortable in that one-on-one defending situation. She has been by far the most important player on this back line for the Engineers tonight.
And now Ann Hoffer, who had a brief stint, comes out for Paige Callahan, who is really out of all of the Mount St. Joseph threats, and they have a number of them. She's been the one that's, other than Kendall Fox, had some of the biggest runs and opportunities.
Yeah, Callahan has used her speed as well, has timed her runs particularly well. I think she's done a great job recognizing when her midfielders are going to have a time and a place to get the ball to her up front. And when you're down at this point of the game, you got to have your best players on, and whoever's doing that for you is going to need to be on the pitch. And Coach Gallagher's trying to get his best 11 out there to make one last push.
Closing in on 7 minutes remaining in the second half. Still tied 0-0. Jaden Gibson trying to get it to Choi. And Schneemann picks it up. She controls. Taylor Beatty. Bodies collide. Ella Pittman. And now Fox trying to get it to Callahan. A slip from Allie Smith. A slip. And what do we have here?
I don't know what to call it. I didn't think there was
a handball. I don't know if, I don't believe it was a foul, so I think he must have called handball. And we're gonna have another huge set piece coming right outside, directly outside the box for Mount St. Joseph.
There is not a better spot to get a free kick. This is the moment you need to win if you are Mount St. Joseph. Pick your best set piece situation. Whatever play you got in the bag, you use it right now, because it's go time. Dore trying to organize her defenders. She's getting shielded.
Pittman is the shield. Schneemann will take it. The clock continues to dwindle down. Now the wall for Rose-Hulman is forced to step back. It's a three-man wall, Kira Hicks included. Schneemann, little ricochet on goal, well defended, right into the wall again. Rose-Hulman, they've done a nice job defending those. And a slip from Dotson. They have a runner, it's Marquardt. Can she get there? She's ahead of everyone. Willis trying to get back on defense. And a tremendous job. Oh, Willis has been a game saver. She dispossessed Marquardt. A battle in midfield. How about that? Between the defensive wall for Rose-Hulman and then Willis standing tall for Mount St. Joseph. This is how we've stayed 0-0.
Exactly. In a 0-0 game, the defenses have had to come up big, and no bigger situation than right there. A great counterattack from Rose-Hulman after a set piece that didn't quite go the way that Mount St. Joseph wanted it to.
Now it's Clark to take the set piece. It's deep and no shot for anyone. Schneider's there. Grabs it on the fly. 4:30 remaining. Let's reiterate the overtime rules. If we stay 0-0 after the conclusion of the second half, we will have a 2-minute period followed by a second 2-minute period if the first remains scoreless. If we are scoreless or still tied through both 2-minute periods, we go to penalty kicks.
4 minutes is not a lot of time, especially in a match like this where it's been a little bit stagnant at points. That is going to feel like a flash, an instant. So you really want to try and win this game in regulation with just under 4 to go.
Kendall Fox trying to get the run on Garcia. Inside move, she's got it, and again, who's there? It's Clark defensively to stand and block it. And a little mishap, Kira Hicks loses it. And Clark has really stepped up on that defensive line, boots it out of play, a clearance. Been the player of the game so far for Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, Clark has been everywhere.
We're down to 3 minutes. That's how quickly a minute evaporates, and a wild shot nowhere close. Out past the end line, and a goal kept coming for Dore.
Clock continues to tick down.
And you don't see the urgency on Rose-Hulman's side. They seem perfectly pleased letting this evaporate. Sharipa boots it, looking for Pittman, and instead it's Kiana Martin to send it over to Hicks, a header. Nicely handled there. Katie Choi. Marquardt searching for her teammates, looking to get it to Choi. She wasn't really close, and kicked out of play by Dotson on the back line for Mount St. Joseph. Now Garcia, she's been in a battle with Fox the past couple minutes. She outbodies her there, but it's Mount St. Joseph to retain possession after a scrum. And all of a sudden, yeah, we're down past 2 minutes, a minute 30 in the second half. And again, we'll note we don't see the urgency, neither team feeling like they need to score here. They know this will go further if they don't, but we mentioned not much further, 4 minutes at max. Chance here, Callahan has it.
Great settle from Callahan.
Blows past one defender. Garcia's the second shot on goal. It's wide, had a ton of velocity.
1 minute remaining.
Well struck, but wide of the right post.
Here it is again.
Another look.
Look at this. Callahan blows by her defender, opts to take the shot, puts her hands on her head, realizing the missed chance.
You think she had some space to keep pushing?
I do. I think she did, and I also think one more touch, and she might have had Pittman wide open on the back post. Either way, you got to get that one on frame. You got to find a way to put it on net challenge Dore. One of the best looks in the entire night comes with under a minute to go, and Callahan can't get it home.
Well, now we're at 10 seconds remaining.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Ball 6, sent over the head of Choi
4, 3,
by Gibson, and
2,
that
1.
will do it. 2 45-minute halves could not separate Mount St. Joseph and Rose-Hulman in the Heartland Conference Championship game. We are still 0-0, and we'll go to our first 2-minute overtime period.
If the goal was scored by either team.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Regulation was not enough here in the Heartland Conference Championship game between Mount St. Joseph and Rose-Hulman. We are tied 0-0. And let me correct our our viewing audience here on HCAC.tv. We thought it would be two 2-minute halves. Instead, it will be 2 10-minute halves, which, Nick, makes a lot more sense, is more fitting to decide this match between two really well-played teams that have been defensive and have stood tall.
Yeah, I for one am glad that we have at least more than 4 minutes to play. Now, it is golden goal, so who knows? You come out opening minute, you bury one, then it's game over. But these teams have been inseparable through 90 minutes. I'll be interested to see how they come out because there was a little bit of a lull in those last 10 minutes. I think there's going to be more energy right out of the gate. And this is it. Do or die, overtime, extra time to have a chance to go to the NCAA tournament next weekend and win your conference championship. This is what you play for. This is what you live for.
You are right. In the final few minutes of that second half, it felt like the teams didn't feel the need to score, and it makes more sense knowing now that they will have it at least 20 minutes. Well, 20 minutes maximum. If golden goal you mentioned, if someone scores early on, and that's what I wanted to bring up to you. The intensity wasn't there, but you mentioned you might want to see teams become a little more aggressive, the pace increase here as the overtime starts. Rose-Hulman, they have not had that at all. Mount St. Joseph, we've seen spurts of them being aggressive. I'll ask again, we've asked numerous times, does this change it for Rose-Hulman?
It changes it some. I would expect them to try. Hicks was really a non-factor in that second half. Only a couple of touches. I think you got to try and find her. I thought there were a couple better counter chances, counter-attacking opportunities late in that second half for Rose-Hulman, but by and large, in that second half, it was Mount St. Joseph who had the better looks, and probably none better than in the last minute. Callahan has a 2-on-1, decides to fire it, and fires it just wide of the right goalpost. We were about this close to not even having any overtime here tonight.
It is fitting. These two have been the best in the Heartland Conference over the regular season. Mount St. Joseph, the 1 seed, undefeated in conference play, 8-0-1. Rose-Hulman, the number 2 seed, 7-1-1. In the match between the two of them, Mount St. Joseph took it. It was 1-0. It was an Ella Pittman 26th minute strike over Lily Dore. In this one, there hasn't been any of that. It's been few chances and fewer that have been equality on goal. 0-0, and now 20 seconds away from the first overtime period getting underway.
You get a sense that teams are going to be more aggressive in this overtime, so that probably also means there's more likelihood of a mistake happening. And we kind of saw it towards the end. A couple of mistakes. A set piece doesn't go quite the way that Mount St. Joseph would have liked it to. And then Rose-Hulman gets a chance. So it's going to be mistakes. You got to minimize the mistakes. I know your energy and your heart rate is going to be high, especially in these opening 2 or 3 minutes. Minimize mistakes. Still play your game and find a way to capitalize on opportunities.
Pressure sometimes forces mistakes, and the stakes are not higher than in this overtime period. Championship on the line for the Heartland Conference and a bid to the Division III National Tournament. They've given it their all for the first 90 minutes. They'll have to have more in the tank over the next 10 plus. Schneeman boots it. Chance here, Kendall Fox running, and Dore is out of the box to go get it. She's done that numerous times, and her aggression has paid off.
Yeah, Dore knew that Kendall Fox was going to beat her defender. Ball just a bit too far. Little kick and run right now from Mount St. Joseph, which is not the style they've been playing a lot of the night.
There's Kira Hicks. Miscommunication, tried to get it to Schuler, and again, not on the same page. Rose-Hulman, that's been the story offensively.
It's hard when you don't get a ton of touches. You can't always get comfortable and get connected with your other attackers, and that's kind of been the story for Hicks, really in that second half, and probably now transitioning over into this overtime period. She hasn't been able to connect with any of her other attacking members up top.
And how about this? Goalkeeper Jordan Schneider signaling to her players. She wants them on the far side. And that's where they went. Didn't make much of a difference, though, as the ball rattling around, and Rose-Hulman will have a throw. Sent downfield, Callahan can't keep it in. She didn't start this one, but she's been the offensive weapon of late, of choice for the Lions. And again, an error.
Talk about a freshman standing up to the challenge. She has looked composed. She's played aggressively. The fact that she's able to do it on the biggest stage in a night like tonight as a first-year player has been quite a show to watch. The East Central product of Indiana has been really good.
We're just under 7 minutes in this first 10-minute overtime period. Not many chances, which has been the theme of the 90-minute match in regulation. Goal kick coming for Dore and Rose-Hulman. I feel like this first half of overtime is a similar story to the second half of play, in that you know there's more coming. You know there's a second overtime period. You don't have to sell out here, and that looks like, to me, how the teams are playing it.
I agree. They don't look like they're totally selling out. Good chance right here.
Intercepted, still in Mount St. Joseph possession. It's Schneeman, and she loses it. Yeah, that hit the hand of Kira Hicks, and it looks like it did. That would not. We're still playing on, and it's in! It's in, and it's over! The same woman who won it for Mount St. Joseph a month ago in October. It's Ella Pittman, her 10th goal of the season, and wins it for Mount St. Joseph in overtime. They are your Heartland Conference Tournament champions. They won it in the regular season. They win it here in the tournament, and they will go to the Division III National Tournament.
They get to ring their bell in victory. It was the Paige Adams ball that wasn't really supposed to be a shot, just sent forward. Dore deflects it off the crossbar, and then Pittman cleans up the work right in front. Not an easier goal. Her 10th of the season, much deserved for her and Mount St. Joseph, as they are victorious on their home turf and will play in the NCAA Division III tournament next weekend.
It looked as though the referee was going to call a handball. He let them play on, and it was to the advantage of Mount St. Joseph. It's ironic how similar this goal was to the game winner for Lauren Marquardt in the semifinal for Rose-Hulman, off the crossbar and cleaned up by an awaiting attacker. This time it was Ella Pittman. She's been a star for them. She's vastly improved from a season ago. Just one goal for her last year as a junior, now as a senior. That's her 10th goal, and the most critical one for the Lions season.
The presentation of the runners-up in the championship trophy.
Lions able to come out victorious. What a match tonight. Teams couldn't get decided in 90 minutes, so we had to get a couple extra on just 5 minutes into the first overtime period. Ella Pittman, it's her 10th goal of the year.
It's a valiant effort for Rose-Hulman. They played a very, very hard-fought 90-plus minutes. They made it all the way to the championship game, defeated Transylvania in the semifinal. Had a few chances, couldn't quite capitalize, and instead it's Ella Pittman who has beaten them both times this season. Mount St. Joseph wins their third consecutive against Rose-Hulman. That's the first time that's ever happened in the two franchises' history. And very soon we will get word from our public address announcer, Russ Breedy, on all tournament nominations and celebration for the Mount St. Joseph Lions.
And they get to do it on their home turf in front of a pretty packed house here outside of Cincinnati. What a win. And of course it was the Harrison native, Ella Pittman, who gets to do it for the Lions.
It's her 5th game winner. 2 of them have beaten Rose-Hulman. That's up there at the tops of the Heartland Conference. And yes, she gets to ring the bell. What a moment for her. A moment for this team, their first time that they'll go to the national tournament since 2018. We have a new Heartland Conference tournament winner. It was Hanover. Hanover's really dominated tournament play the past 10 years, quite honestly. But this time it's Mount St. Joseph at the top of the mountain. They've had an undefeated season in conference play, and it continues in tournament conference play, and they will get to test themselves on the national stage.
Rose-Hulman took down Hanover. Excuse me, no.
Transylvania.
Transylvania. In a very, you already talked about, very similar final goal. Paige Adams. You knew it was going to be a weird bounce, a weird ricochet, just something goofy that was going to finally be the deciding goal in this one. Dore made a valiant effort, couldn't quite knock it out of play. Ella Pittman coming up big as she has all season.
It's very difficult to win the regular season championship and then win the tournament championship.
Impressive.
That's what Mount St. Joseph did this season. It's the 13th time it's been done in Heartland Conference history. So just over 60% of the time. Most teams do it, but it's a large majority of teams don't. It's a very difficult task and something that they accomplished in this season that will go down in Lions history.
And it's worth noting, when these two teams faced off just a couple of weeks ago, they were tied in the standings in the Heartland Conference, both with 19 points. It was that close all year long between these two teams, and it was that close all night long between these squads. What an unbelievable match and what an unbelievable finish in overtime. Lions get the job done as the 1 seed.
They get to put on their championship T-shirts, and they'll get to hear their names called as the Heartland Conference will celebrate them and their season and their representation of the Heartland Conference next week. They will face a difficult matchup. The Heartland Conference has not been ultra successful on the national stage. The last time a Heartland Conference representative made it to just the second round was 2016. That's 8 years ago when Hanover did it, and it's only been done twice to even make it to the second round. So the Lions have a tough road in front of them, but certainly proud to make it this far.
Yes, soak in the big win tonight. All your hard work pays off when you can win a conference championship, but when tomorrow rolls around, you've got another job to do, and you got to show up and show out like you have all year and try and be an outlier in this conference that, as you said, is not historically successful in the D3 NCAA tournament. But, hey, survive and advance. That's the motto in any postseason play, and anything could happen as you one game at a time. And who knows? You win a couple. Who knows? Anything can happen in postseason play. And what a great match tonight.
Boy, they got to feel confident. They have not lost a single conference match this year. They've dominated, to be quite honest.
One more look. It's Paige Adams fires it in from 30 yards out. Knocked away by the right-handed Dore, and Pittman, with a nose for the goal, is there to tap it home. Jubilation for Mount St. Joseph. Heartbreak for Rose-Hulman as we await the trophy ceremony.
And I got to give a ton of credit to this crowd. They were vocal, they were present, they've really packed this out. And you could say in a match as tightly contested as this could be part of the reason that the Lions took victory, that they found their way to be victorious, overcame Rose-Hulman. And now as Rose-Hulman, I believe, is getting their recognition as second place in the Heartland Conference tournament, let's turn it over to our public address announcer, Russ Breedy.
Love you, Kenzie! Coach of the year!
Ladies and gentlemen, here to present the awards on behalf of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference is Assistant Commissioner Grace Schott. The all-tournament team from Rose-Hulman, Billy Dorr. Lauren Marquardt. And Riley Heasley. Your all-tournament team for Mount St. Joseph, Paige Adams. Mary Anhofer. Ella Pittman. And this year's tournament most valuable player from Mount St. Joseph, Mackenzie Dotson. At this time, we would like to recognize the HCAC tournament runner-up. Congratulations to Rose-Hulman. For the Mount St. Joseph Lions, an outstanding season was culminated in the HCAC championship match. Let's have a round of applause for the Mount St. Joseph Lions. Please come forward and receive your HCAC tournament trophy and banner. Ladies and gentlemen, Mount St. Joe, after winning the HCAC tournament trophy, they have qualified for the automatic bid into the 2024 NCAA Division III Soccer Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your support of the HCAC and the NCAA.
That does it for the tournament celebrations. Mount St. Joseph once again victorious. They win in overtime, a header from Ella Pittman. They win 1-0. That does it here. They take the automatic bid to the Division III National Tournament, and they win the Heartland Conference. They won the regular season, and they win the Heartland Conference Tournament. That does it here. For once again, we thank our broadcast crew. We thank you for joining us. For our director, Ben Wood, our camera operator, Tom Corey, my partner to my right, Nick Abel. I've been Sam Cinder, and this has been quite a championship match. Once again, Mount St. Joseph takes it, a 1-0 final score here on HCAC.TV.